rock the body, body, body.
Coming up on episode 7 of Michi-chan's Real Derby, a full spectrum of fun in orange, pink, purple, copper, and red. Throw in a little plaid too. All that in Arizona says goodbye to a great friend. Arizona, this is your state. This is your Derby Report.
Rock the body, body. Move your ass over. Slap the naughty body. Move your ass over here now. Put your ass in the
Hey, it's Michi-chan and welcome to Michi-chan's Real Derby. We are here at Tucson Roller Derby here at Blade World. Later on in the show, you're going to see the bout that we're getting set up for right now, and that is the Copper Queens with a 2-1 record to take on the 1 and 2 Iron Curtain. The Iron Curtain desperately needs this bout if they want to stay alive this season. But for right now, here's what's going on in Arizona Derby. The Arizona Derby community has lost a very dear friend. Joseph Luglio, known to the Derby world as Joe Bones, was found dead at his home, apparently of natural causes, on March 7th, just hours before a Tucson roller derby bout. Joe Bones was an emergency medical technician and provided his EMT services to Tucson Roller Derby and Arizona Roller Derby. On Justice Feelgood's blog at Derby News Network, RollerCon founder Ivana Spankin recalls her many experiences with Joe Bones. She writes in the blog that Joe probably went to more practices than most skaters and attended more tournaments than the top 5 teams in WIFIDA. She later went on to say that Joe was one of those awesome people. He went out of his way to look after us because he loved roller derby. There was a memorial gathering in Tucson on March 21st, and on March 28th, just prior to the TRD bout, Joe's ashes were scattered. In memoriam, you may make a donation to the Tucson Derby Brats. We'll have more about Joe Bones later on in the show. In April, Fire will meet Ice as members of the Tucson Roller Derby home team. The Iron Curtain will be traveling to Alaska for a friendly bout against the Rage City Rollergirls from Anchorage. Arizona's upstart leagues are continuing to develop. In Phoenix, the Hell City Rollergirls are continuing their growth with a regular practice schedule, and according to the league's MySpace page, they have secured a venue for bouts. In Prescott, Northern Arizona Roller Derby continues to skate on. The Whiskey Rollers has told Real Derby that they will be scrimmaging at the Smoke Out West motorcycle event in Cottonwood on May 9th. Dry Heat Derby is continuing to get some skating time in. There will be an expo bout during the halftime of the Arizona Roller Derby bout on April 11th, as well as future events at Tucson Roller Derby bouts. All of the upstart leagues are continuing to recruit more skaters. More Derby news later in the show. You know, last year the Orange County Renegade Rollergirls came to Phoenix for a butt whooping. Well, they decided to come back for more. Here we go. Orange County versus Arizona. Renegades No Rules Derby. Here it is.
in Orange County. Orange County.
Get out of here! Enough is enough! Get out of here! Take a hike!
Arizona Renegades bringing a wide variety of jammers to the line to spread the points around. Magnum and Mayhemily with 9. Orange County's points can all be attributed to the dude, but regardless, the OC girls are tough, but our Arizona girls are just a little tougher. We were here at Blade World, like we are tonight, to witness the Furious Truck Stop Waitresses, a team that's been struggling this season, take on the #1 rated Vice Squad. Let's see what happened. Alright, here we go, Michi-chan, TRD. It's going to be FTW Vice Squad. Here we go.
I'm losing, you're lying. Some doubting, no loss,
Lead jam.
I saw white clouds rolling in the sky. Da-da-da, so far, da-da-da, see there. There's a line on my belt, oh my sleeping girl, please don't leave me.
Solo jam, FTW.
Every time I think I can hear my words, your inspiration, spotting you. If I had a chance, I would go. I learned that please don't cry, just calling you.
Lead jam, FTW. Lead jammer, Sassy Sue.
Now I'm a typewriter, and I'm wiping my life like trash. This is your favorite cement, cement.
We've hit the century mark. And that's a jam. Experience.
Please don't stop me.
This is not good.
Even if I sing, you can hear. We'll find another destination. Just following you. I don't wanna lose you, but you're gonna live your life and how much value. Just following you. Just following you. To keep the sky.
is the Peaches Rodriguez I remember!
Every time I think I can hear you, my love, your inspiration, sparring you. If I had a chance, let me go. No, 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 can please don't cry. Just calling you, just calling you, just calling you. Even if I sing, you can hear. Will we find another destination? Sparring you. I don't wanna lose you while you're gonna leave your life and how much love you. Just calling you, just calling you.
Rising and rousing the crowd as he rises, ladies and gentlemen. I'm rising. It is all Fight Squad, all night, and that is it. Your winners tonight, the Dirty Pop, the Fight Squad. Michi rules! Iron Curtain! Michi rules!
FTW skating short and with substitutions. Unfortunately, TRD does not let their subs jam. Peaches Rodriguez got a couple good jams in there, but the night was all about Vice Squad. No, that is not a typo. Semi-automatic with 90 points. Polygraph, Carry Guns, and Turkish Slammer sharing the rest of the load. Vice is now 4-0, FTW 0-4. As Derby grows in Arizona, so does Derby in the rest of the nation. The Women's Flat Track Derby Association continues to announce new member leagues in all of its regions. Some of the new members in the Western region include the Lava City Roller Dolls from Bend, Oregon, Slaughterhouse Derby Girls from Greeley, Colorado, Bellingham Roller Betties from Bellingham, Washington, Emerald City Roller Girls from Eugene, Oregon, and what is most likely to be WIFTA's most interesting new member, Pacific Roller Derby from Honolulu, Hawaii, will be a part of WIFTA's Western region. Derby leagues are definitely going to be looking forward to those travel team bouts. With all the new leagues being added to WIFTA, one league has left the association. The Orange County Roller Girls is no longer a WIFTA member. Sources inside OCRG have told Real Derby that they are moving in the direction of being a recreational league. OCRG has recently announced a fitness level of membership. The Old School Derby Association has released version 1.1 of their official rules, which are now in effect. The primary rule change is now that the jammers will line up in the back of the pack, and a single whistle will be used to start both the pack and the jammers. An OSDA game will now be 4 15-minute periods. This is being done to accommodate alternating period games where the women and the men play different periods in the game. In the final jam of the game, if a jammer can break through the pack while there's still time on the game clock, the jam will run for the full 90 seconds. If the jammer cannot break the pack before the game clock runs out, then the game is over. OSDA has told Real Derby that these are additional changes to the rules to bring OSDA Derby closer to the original rules of roller derby. The Junior Flat Track Derby Association has announced that they will be changing their name to the Junior Roller Derby Association. The name change is to reflect the growth of Junior Derby in both the flat track and bank track arenas. The Tucson Derby Brats have told Real Derby that they're planning on a game against the LA Junior Dolls in Los Angeles on the bank track. Many of the Tucson Derby Brats had a chance to check out the bank track last summer. undefeated through the 2008 and into the 2009 season, Arizona Roller Derby's Bad News Beaters was definitely a force to be reckoned with. But now they get to take on the Brawl Arenas, who brought in a very interesting substitute. Here we go with the Beaters against the Brawlers. Around for more. She's gonna do it. And she's through again. And she wants more. French Lick wearing a special green Lucky Charms undershorts tonight. And looking at the scoreboard, they're working. For Hollywood. Luna check to the box. Jammerless jam. And here comes Knockout Nico. Flying through. Grand Slam. Put your hand on your head. We've got a Grand Slam. And that's the period. Frenchie, your Lucky Charms are working tonight.
I'm gonna raise every bout.
Shannon has just got a win of the ring. Back in. Oh my God, Raina Rage is coming up fast, and she calls the jam. Here we go. Star Pass! Star Pass! Sweet Candy Cannons is your... Here's your new jammer. And we got a jumper on the jammer line. And the jumping work. Rana Riggs, lead jammer. Joby one and only. And Bone Setter. Here comes Joby. Bone Setter through. Lead jam. Raleigh. Could be it. This could be it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Raleigh's over the century mark. Joby through again. And Bone Setter through again. This is getting that's the jam. 2 minutes, and that's the Bone Setter. Didn't get it. And that's the jam. It's over. The Brawl Arenas with an incredible win over the Beaters, beating a long-standing winning streak. Dianosaurus Rex subbed in to pick up 45 purple points. Nice 16-point jam by the Bone Setter. Knockout Nico also in there. For the Beaters, it was the Raina Rage Show, picking up a majority of her team's points. The Bruisers are at 2-0 over the Brawlers, the Beaters, and the Surleys. One more regulation game to go on April 11th at the Castle Sports Club. If the Beaters win, it will create a three-way tie with three teams tied at 2-1. Average point spread will be used to break the tie. In no combination would the Brawl Arenas get number one, so they will be playing in the semifinals in May. The Beaters would need to beat the Bruisers by 30 points in order to get ranked number one and get the free pass to June. Here are your upcoming dates for the Michi-chan Derby Love Tour. In June, AZRD, TRD, and the Dames are skating on the same night. The DLT will most likely be at AZRD. There's still a lot of great derby coming up. We'll see you there. Watch the scrubbers jam for more. In the face by somebody. Would have to rerun the video and see who it is. Meanwhile, the other skaters are watching. And Lemon Drop is up and she's going. All right. Let's hear it for Lemon Drop.
Yeah. Our longtime EMT, Joe Bones, passed away today. Unexpected, and we don't have a lot of information about it. We at Tucson Roller Derby would like to honor Joe's commitment, service, and love for our sport with a moment of silence.
this last week we lost a very dear and precious member of the ACRD family. Joe Bones, who has also served as well at Tucson Roller Derby. He's been with us since about 2006 when we met him at Dust Double One. And on Saturday last week, we received word that he had left us. And we would just want to say to his lovely wife, Donna, thank you so much for sharing him with us for so long. He took such good care of us, and he will live on with us. So, if we can just have a moment of silence for our beloved Joe Bones.
Next time you come to Blade World, try out the nosebleed section. You know, yeah, so a roller girl may not land in your lap, but at least you get a great look at the game. You get a totally different perspective of the game than you get when you're sitting on the floor or even when you're watching on Real Derby. You should check it out sometime. But for right now, let's check out the Copper Queens taking on the Iron Curtain in the Tucson Roller Derby late March bout coming up right now. This is the biggest ball of tape in Arizona. Go Iron Curtain and the Copper Queens, let's do it! Jam! Copper Queens taking a 3-jammer rotation of Dirty Terry, Ferocious Oxide, and Pixie Axe to get the job done. Iron Curtain jamming Lucifer and Bianca Troll outscored the Queens in the second half. Penalties, especially in the first half, cost the IC deeply. Vice Squad is still on top at TRD, followed by Copper Queens, Iron Curtain, and FTW. Coming up for TRD on April 18th is a doubleheader, Vice versus Copper Queens and FTW versus Iron Curtain. Note the earlier start time of 6 p.m. door, 6:30 bout at Blade World.
Put your hands in the air!
Here are your DerbyData.com Arizona Power Rankings. The Arizona Power Rankings take the 13 home teams of AZRD, AZDD, and TRD and uses their margins of victory and loss to create a power score. Here's your real-time results that reflect all of the bouts mentioned on this episode of Real Derby. First of all, the Bruisers are currently unranked. This is due to them not having 3 qualifying bouts within the past 365 days. After April 11th, they will be ranked again. At number 12, the Bombshells. This team has not seen any victory since July of 2007. The Shells gave a very impressive showing against the Scrappers in April, and that low-margin loss actually helped them move their way up and possibly surpass the number 11 team, the Iron Curtain. A very low-margin loss against the Copper Queens in late March kept our commies from going back into the cellar. The Iron Curtain will play FTW this month, and right now this can be seen as a very even match. At number 10, the Surly Girlies, eliminated from playoff contention in February with a 30-point loss to the Bruisers. The Surlies will drop 2 games over the summer, and this will send their power score plummeting. At number 9, the Furious Truck Stop Waitresses, a team that really needs to be a team and work towards getting some synergy together. In early March, FTW had a wide margin loss against Vice. With Skeletor injured and Lucifer ineligible to jam, it was a lost cause for the Waitresses. FTW goes against the Iron Curtain in April. At number 8, the Schoolyard Scrappers was the only AZDD team to move in rankings as a result of the April 4th bout, moving up from number 10 in the March 29th published rankings. Rowdy Roulette led the Plaid to a 77-42 victory over the Bombshells. So far this year, the Dames have been dealing out a lot of close margin games, making for a very exciting season at the Coliseum. The number 7 Brawl Arenas had a surprise victory over the Beaters in March, and that definitely helped them in the rankings. A loss from April of 2008 will age off later this month, and this may bring the Tutus up in ranking. A win in May will help them even more. The Coffin Draggers at number 6 gave us an easy win over the Bombshells in February, but could not stand up to the Brutal Beauties in April. A wide margin win over the Bombshells in 2008 and some low margin losses are the only thing that's keeping the prettiest girls in the morgue looking pretty. Number 5, you just gotta love those Runaway Brides. In February, they gave the Brutal Beauties a second dose of pink defeat. The Ruffles have a bye month in April, but will be back in May for an easy bout against the Bombshells. The number 4 Brutal Beauties keep winning unless the opposing team's bench looks more like a bridal show gone bad. The Pinks had an easy win over the Draggers. They will get the bye in May, but a bout from last May will shave a few points off of their power score. At number 3, Tucson's Copper Queens, one of the 2 TRD teams with a fairly consistent roster. Dirty Terry giving an incredible show in late March against the Iron Curtain, but strong jamming by the Red Army kept many points answered and the margin low. In April, Tucson will see a major clash between the Copper Queens and Vice Squad. At number 2, the Bad News Beaters, a team that held the number 1 power ranking for over a year, but the March defeat to the Brawlies was the kick in the shin that was needed to make the Ball Girls drop a notch. The Beaters will play the Bruisers in April, a game that is very important for the power rankings because it will give the Brew their 3rd rankable game in the past year, and based on their past 2 wins, the Bruisers could definitely unseat the Beaters and would also be a threat to our current number 1 team, Vice Squad. Semi-automatic, carry guns, Turkish slammer, polygraph, whiskey Mick, need I say any more? With an 8-bout winning streak and only one loss about to age off in April, Vice is definitely the new Tucson dynasty and for many reasons Arizona's dynasty. Only the current unranked Bruisers are a threat to the Vice in the power rankings. This Vice team definitely has the right formula. For more information on the power rankings, visit derbydata.com and click on the Arizona Power Rankings link. That's going to do it for this episode of Michi-chan's Real Derby. We'll see you in June, just prior to the AZRD and TRD championship bouts. Until then, skate hard, skate safe. Michi-chan, Derby love.
君の腕の中で生きる意味を知った Oh, oh, oh Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door 涙を拭いて Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door knocking on heaven's door.
Another swell